Hello, guys. Making the next step is all about expressing yourself, expressing your highest potential, expressing yourself the way you are, expressing your shadow, your light, and everything in between. It is important to know what you are and where you want to go. In order to know who you are, there's a period of self exploration going on with you some time already. If you're any like me, I think we are all in the same period of life now where we are exploring who we are. Who in reality am I? Not the mask that I made for myself in order to fit in my kind of idea of who I should be, because I was conditioned by society, by parents, by friends, by everybody, by co-workers actually, with bosses at work. So we are not talking about the mask we wear or the different kind of masks we wear in different kind of environments and for different kind of purposes. I'm talking about the real you. When you don't need to be somebody, you are unknown, you are dropped from airplane or from helicopter somewhere, you land and you have a chance to be something completely new. Who are you? Are you the kind of person that you get afraid of this new environment? Are you the kind of person that says, I will make it work? What kind of person you are? Imagine you start completely new today, and that you will, through time, you will gather everything you have now, the family, the co-workers, job, friends, everything will come to you. But who are you? Who are you if you really start from zero? We usually get certain kind of, we call them unpleasant experiences in our life that give us opportunity to show who we are, who we really are, and they give us a fresh start. I especially remember my fresh start with my close family, my initial family, my parents, my brothers, sisters, and everything. I remember that. It was a moment when I realized that the way our relationships work is not what I want. And I had this period of explaining to them who I am and who I would like to be in our relationship and how would I like to function and everything. And we made it work. I'm a lucky guy. So I got this opportunity because I decided I will not have relationships this way anymore because I don't want them like that. But imagine, be creative this weekend, because it's Friday today. Be creative of thinking, if I would be dropped by a helicopter somewhere and be left alone, what would I need to have with me? What kind of equipment I would need to feel safe, and who I am? Who am I? How would I introduce myself to the person I meet, and they ask me, "So who are you? I haven't seen you here. Haven't seen you around here." That's a really, really important question. First is your identity. Who are you? Because this way you will be presented to people that come to your life during the next step that we are walking towards. There will be completely new people. Not all of them, of course, but you will meet new people. And how do you want them to know you? Because if you will know who you are and how you will present yourself, the right people will come to you to support you, to help you out, to cheer for you, to give you opportunities. The right people will come. Once you know that, your identity, who are you, without wearing the masks that you are used to wear, but you can now design your own new mask. If possible, don't design something that is not you. Try to think about it. Think about of all your aspects of your personality that you are afraid of, or that you know that you are not okay with. Think about that, write them down. Because when you will be presenting yourself, you don't present yourself only in the good light or the light. You present yourself also as a shadow. And you say what is there to know about you that is not maybe positive in your understanding, but might be interesting and positive in somebody else's understanding. There are people who look for your shadow, but not the kind of unprocessed shadow that is destructive. They look for the potential of you in that shadow. And when there is potential, there is also an option for you to be that way. So think about your personality trait or the way you behave that you would put in your shadow. Maybe for me, too sensitive. And then think about what is there in the environment or inside you or in other people or whatever that caused you to think like that. Were there people who told you you are too sensitive? Were there people who were too afraid for them to be sensitive and they just labeled you too sensitive? Think about it. With me, it's just other people told me, and I believed it. That I'm too sensitive for this world, that this will not support me but hinder me on my path. All these kind of ideas. So, but if we then transmute the destructive approach towards sensitivity into the light, what does it bring? For me, it brings capacity to feel. For me, it brings the capacity to feel people around me, to analyze the situation in the room, to notice when somebody is not sincere, to know when somebody is sincere, to discern if something is real or not real. This is actually huge strength if you know how to handle this gift that you were given. And it was just my belief that was incorporated in my head that was holding me back not to use this power. So actually, if you think about it, your light aspects are the hero aspects, and your shadow aspects are your villain aspects. But as in all villain and hero stories, there is a huge difference between the hero and the villain. They both can come from the same background, from the same damage I can call it like this, or the same kind of personality. Imagine that you have the same person and you split it, you copy it. And what can happen is that based on the life experience you have, or personality, whichever reason, the one of the copies decides to transmute the shadow aspects into light, and decides with every part of the shadow that I'm aware of and I get to know myself through, I will transform into superpower. I will use it for the good of all living beings around myself. I will use it to support transformations in the world. I will support positive things in the world, a step forward, next step, how to help out, to give my gifts to help out. And eventually, of course, in order for you to do that, you will be rewarded by survival, whatever survival means for you. Maybe survival is enough money and I'm okay. Maybe it's millions. Who cares? You will have the ability to forget about the money problem. And we are not here for the money's sake, but we have to know that it is taken care of the ones who decide to go for the light, and it's taken care of the ones who find their power in the villain aspects as well. Because both copies found their power. But comparing to the hero story, the villain decides that he's aware of the damage, and he's aware, or she, whoever, is aware what is wrong. But they decide that they will just pay back to society, that they will pay back because they were not protected and they were hurt like that and nobody was there for them, and the kind of story. So the way hero finds the power and transmutes it into superpower, also the villain transmits it into superpower, but the villain decides that they will make damage. And here we will not talk about what is right and wrong, because in order for heroes to exist, there need to be villains. If there would be no villains, there would be no heroes, because there would be no need for them. We live in the world which operates on polarity. There always is a polarity to something. Cold, hot, happiness, sadness. Everything is duality. And because there is so many villains in the world today, there is a need of heroes to equalize the equation. And hero doesn't need to be in the news the way it is perpetrated in movies or whatever. No, villain and hero can be normal everyday people who decided to work on their superpowers, but one decided to make the problems and some decided to solve the problems, or be available to sort problems, or be available to make problems. So at this point in time, you are able to decide what you would like to be, but first you need to you need to define who you are. What is the light aspect? What is the shadow aspect of yourself? So in order to make that, you can do it yourself and make a circle, divide the circle in 16 parts, and use those 16 parts to think about what is my shadow, what are the kind of things that I'm ashamed of, what are the kind of things that I'm not proud of, and write them down. And then at the edge of the circle, just make what is the reason that I believe in that. Was it a person? Was it a rumor? Society? Myself? Experience? Something. And then outside the circle, you make another bigger circle where you extend the lines, those 16 lines that separate, and you write there, if I transmute the shadow aspect of me, what is then positive aspect of me if I make this change? What is then my superpower? Once you have this done, or at least find 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, 5 aspects, you can start thinking of who are you. You can start thinking how you would name yourself. And there are so many aspects. I will guide you through this process. And at this point, wish you a great weekend. Take some time for you to make this happen. Take some time to start this process. And I'm here to support you on this path. And look at this beautiful leaf of all the different colors. Let it be inspiration to you. There are so many colors of your aspects and yourself that you will discover. Just make it happen if you decided to really move forward and make the next step. Have a great day.